ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अगजानन पद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तमुपास्महे। श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां श्रीहयग्रीवमुपास्महे। श्रीहयग्रीवमूर्तये नमः। सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। उमाकोमलहस्ताब्जसम्भावितललाटकं हिरण्यकुण्डलं वन्दे कुमारं पुष्करस्रजं। வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு ஹரஹரோஹரா. லோகவீரியம் மகாபூஜ்யம் சர்வரக்ஷாகரம் விபும் பார்வதீஹதயானந்தம் சாஸ்தாரம் பிரணமாம்யஹம். சுவாமியே சரணமையப்பா. वागर्ताभिव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्त प्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ। श्रीपार्वती परमेश्वराभ्यां नमः। कोमलं पूजयन् वेणुं श्यामलोऽयं कुमारकः वेदवेद्यं परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। पीताम्बरं करविराजितचक्रशङ्खकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायम् अतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। कृष्णो रक्षतु मां चराचरगुरुः कृष्णं नमस्ये सदा। कृष्णेनैव सुरक्षितोऽहमसकृत् कृष्णाय दत्तं मनः। कृष्णादेव समुद्भवो मम विभो कृष्णस्य दासोऽस्म्यहं। कृष्णे भक्तिरचञ्चलास्तु भगवन्। हे कृष्ण तुभ्यं नमः। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं। नम्राणां सन्निधत्ते सततमपि पुरस्तैरणभ्यर्थितानपि आर्तान् कामानजस्रं वितरति परमानन्दसान्द्रां गतिं च। इत्थं निःशेषलभ्यो निरवधिकफलः पारिजातो हरे त्वं क्षुद्रं तं शक्नवाटी ध्रुममभिलषति व्यर्थमर्त्यव्रजोऽयं। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं। श्रीभट्टपादम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। वंशीविभूषितकरात् नवनीरधाभात् पीताम्बरात् अरुणबिम्बफलादरोष्टात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखात् अरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। കൈരണ്ടും കൂപ്പി ഞാൻ വീണ്ടുമീറക്കുന്നു നീരജലോചന നിന്നോടായി. ഏതീനു മഞ്ഞനെ കുമ്പിടേണ്ടാത്തോരു രീതിയിൽ നീ എന്നെ പാലിക്കെന്നായി. കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ. Good morning, everyone. Sorry, we are a few minutes late today. All right, so we'll not do the review since we lost about 10 minutes. We'll directly jump into 75. So let's see. Radha, you can be student. Shashireka, you can be student first off. So we'll start with 75, which is Kamsa Vadha Varnanam, slaying of Kamsa. That's the one. प्रातः सन्त्रस्तभोजक्षितिपतिवचसा प्रस्तुते मल्लतूर्ये संगे राज्ञां च मञ्चानभ्ययुषि गते नन्दगोपेऽपि हर्म्यं कंसे सौधाधिरूढे त्वमपि सह बलः सानुगश्चारुवेशो रङ्गद्वारं गतो भूः कुपितकुवलया पीडनागावलीढम्. So in the last class, we saw Krishna, Balarama, along with Nandagopa, everybody coming over to Mathura. And then we saw what the incidents that happened in Mathura. And towards the end, and then Krishna goes and breaks the bow, right? And then in the end, we saw how, he was talking to Sri Dhama, his friend, about his separation from Radha. But however, he was aware of what was going to be coming the next day, which is the one of the primary purpose of this avatar. So that was how we left 74. So in 75, just kind of continuing, right? So we saw how when the bow was broken and then the word spread about the strength of Krishna and Balaraman, how they bet up all the guys who had come there, and that word reaches Kamsa. So Kamsa that night, it says, it continues there, right, saying that he could not sleep, right? Like we discussed last time. He was constantly thinking. He remained awake for a really long time. He couldn't get to bed because he was worried about what was going to happen next day. And he started seeing a lot of bad omens. Everything started coming in his dreams that this was pretty much his end of his life was coming over, right? So the next morning, he was just waiting for morning to happen. So the moment the morning happened, he gave his command saying, okay, let's open the doors, right? Essentially get the bow ceremony and the wrestling ceremony, everything that's going to be happening. Let's get it started. So everybody get ready. And then the place starts getting filled up. So all the general people come, Nanda Gopa comes, everybody who's invited, everybody has come there. And finally, and Kamsa is sitting on the top dais. So this is like a big arena, and Kamsa is sitting on the top dais. Eventually, Krishna and Balarama, and along with their friends, they are about to enter. So at that time, if you remember, Kamsa had previously planned that if nothing happens, is a Kuvalaya Pida, a big elephant will be waiting for him at the entrance, right? We discussed it in 73. So anyway, so come that Kuvalaya Pida elephant was actually waiting at the entrance, blocking the path for Krishna and Balarama to enter. It was not letting them enter. So Prataha put is Pratas Tantrasta Bhoja Kshitipati Vachasa, comma, Prastute Mallaturye, comma, Sange Ragnyam Chef Manchan Abhiyayushi. You can break at that if you want. Manchan Abhiyayushi, comma, Gate Nanda Gopepi Harmyam. प्रातः सन्त्रस्तभोजक्षितिपतिवचसा प्रस्तुते मल्लतूर्ये सङ्घे राज्ञां च मञ्चानभिययुषि गते नन्दगोपेऽपि हर्म्यम्.
प्रातः सन्त्रस्तभोजक्षिति पतिवचसा प्रस्तुते मल्लतूर्ये सङ्घे राज्ञां च मञ्चानभियुषि गते नन्दगोपेऽपि हर्म्यम्.
Second line abhiyayushi. One more ya there.
So split பண்ணாது.
You missed one ya there. Manchan abhiyayushi.
Sorry. प्रातः सन्त्रस्तभोजक्षितिपतिवचसा प्रस्तुते मल्लतूर्ये सङ्घे राज्ञां च मञ्चान् अभिययुषि गते नन्दगोपीऽपि हर्म्यम्.
प्रातः सन्त्रस्तभोजक्षितिपतिवचसा प्रस्तुते मल्लतूर्ये सङ्घे राज्ञां च मञ्चानभिययुषि गते नन्दगोपेहि हर्म्यम्. गोपेऽपि हर्म्यम्. प्रातः सन्त्रस्तभोजक्षितिपतिवचसा प्रस्तुते मल्लतूर्ये सङ्घे राज्ञां च मञ्चानभिययुषि गते नन्दगोपेऽपि हर्म्यम्.
कंसे सौधादि रूढ़े, comma, त्वमपि सह बलः, put is to join, सह बलस, सानुगश चारुवेशो, comma, रंगद्वारं गतो भूहु, comma, कुपित कुवलयापीड नागावलीढम्. कंसे सौधादि रूढ़े त्वमपि सह बलः सानुगश्चारुवेषो रङ्गद्वारं गतो भूः कुपितकुवलया पीडनागावलीढम्
सौधादिरूढे त्वमपि सह बलः सानुगश्चारुवेषो रङ्गद्वारां गते भूः कुपितकुवलया पीडनाघावलीढम्.
Another second line, second word, gato bhuhu.
Okay, thank you. सौधादिरूढे
There's one word before that. Kamse
सौधादिरूढे त्वमपि सह बलः सानुगश्चारुवेषो रङ्गद्वारां गते भूः कुपितकुवलया पीडनाघावलीढम्.
again, you get gate bhuhu you're saying, and the second line, second word, gato bhuhu.
இங்க சாரி, இங்க கத்தோ இருக்கு.
Gato only. But I think you were saying gate bhuhu. It's gato bhuhu.
கத்தோவாது. Okay. No, something is wrong here.
Rangadwaram.
Okay.
Gato bhuhu.
Gato bhuhu. Okay. Yeah. So they missed one wording.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
कंसे सौधाधिरूढे त्वमपि सह बलः सानुगश्चारुवेषो रङ्गद्वारं गतो भूः कुपितकुवलया पीडनागावलीढम् कंसे सौधाधिरूढे त्वमपि सह बलः सानुगश्चारुवेषो रङ्गद्वारं गतो भूः कुपितकुवलया पीडनागावलीढम्.
Answer two. पापिष्टापेहि मार्गाद्रुतमिति वचसा निष्ठुरक्रुद्धबुद्धेः अम्बष्टस्य प्रणोदादधिकजवजुषा हस्तिना गृह्यमानः केलीमुक्तोत गोपीकुचखलशचिरस्पर्धिनं कुम्भमस्य व्याहत्यालीयतास्त्वं चरणभुवि पुनर्निर्गतो वल्गुहासी. So when Krishna and Balarama are about to enter, ahead of the entrance to that big arena in front of the door is this massive sized elephant. Name is Kuvalaya Pida. So the Mahout, the one who's taking care of the elephant, is standing there. So Krishna tells that Mahout, you know what, move away, let us pass, right? We want to enter the arena as well. But however, they refuse to move from there. And the Mahout then eventually gets angry. And what he does is, they sometimes, they poke the elephant to get the elephant triggered, right? So that's what he does. He pokes the elephant to get the elephant triggered, and so the elephant will attack Krishna and Balarama. So at the time, the elephant, this battle between Krishna and the elephant will go for 2 stanzas. But in this case, what happens is the elephant comes to, because Krishna is so small compared to the elephant, so the elephant comes to kind of grab him. He's so small, he runs and hides between the elephant's legs. Papishta pehi margad Drutamiti vachasa. Put a comma there. Nishtura kruddha buddhehe. Put a visarga comma. Buddhehe, comma. Next line, if you have rambashtasya, that becomes a. Ambashtasya pranodhat adhika. So it will be easy to break that da. The second da that is coming there. Instead of saying pranodadhadika, if you break it as pranodat adhika, you can say it easily. Adhika javajusha, comma, hastina grihyamanaha. Papishta pehi marga drutamiti vachasa nishthura kruddha buddhehe ambashtasya pranodad adhika javajusha hastina grihyamanaha.
पापिष्टापेहि मार्गात् द्रुतमतिवचसा निष्ठुरक्रूरबुद्धेः अम्बष्टस्य प्रणोदात् अधिकजवजुषा हस्तिना गृह्यमाणः पापिष्टापेहि मार्गात् द्रुतमतिवचसा निष्ठु इल्लाद निष्ठुरक्रूरबुद्धेः अम्बष्टस्य प्रणोदात् अधिकजवजुषा हस्तिना गृह्यमाणः.
அதான் அந்த first
Can you
lineல
hear me? Ade?
yeah, I could hear you, yeah, but I think on the first lineல வந்து druta miti, okay,
Margat Drutamitiya.
druta miti, அந்த நிஷ்டுர क्रुद्ध u sound क्रुद्ध बुद्धेः
Okay. Inge Margat adu.
मार्गाद द्रुतमिति वचसा.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I got a call from India. இப்பறமா volume என்னாச்சு தெரியல. I can't hear you.
Oh, you want to just dial back in? I think your camera is pointed at your head right now.
I know, but I'm putting in my ear. அதனால.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm putting in
Can
my
others
ear.
hear me okay?
I'm hearing you very feebly.
Okay. Shashirika, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you can just dial back rather, join back, try joining back. You want to just join back rather?
Yeah, I'll join back. I'll
Okay.
join back. Yeah.
Good, Shashirika.
Okay. पापिष्ठापेहि मार्गात् द्रुतमिति वचसा निष्ठुरा क्रुद्धबुद्धेः अम्बष्टस्य प्रणोदादधिकजवजुषा हस्तिना गृह्यमाणः पापिष्ठापेहि मार्गात् द्रुतमिति वचसा निष्ठुरक्रुद्धबुद्धेः अम्बष्टस्य प्रणोदादधिकजवजुषा हस्तिना गृह्यमाणः
केली मुक्तोत कॉमा गोपी कुच कलश शिर स्पर्धिनं कुंभमस्य कॉमा व्याहत्यालीयतास्त्वं, that's one word, cannot break it, व्याहत्यालीयतास्त्वं चरणभुवि कॉमा पुनर्निर्गतो वल्गुहासि केन्ही मुक्तोत गोपी कुचखलशचिरस्पर्धिनं कुम्भमस्य व्याहत्यालीयतास्त्वं चरणभुवि पुनर्निर्गतो वल्गुहासि. म्यूट लिखे
केली मुक्तोद गोपी कुचकलशसि रस्वद्भिनं कुम्भमस्य व्याहत्कालीय यथास्त्वं चरणभूमि पुनर्निर्गतो वल्लुहासि केलीमुक्तोत गोपी कुचकलशचिरस्पर्धिनं कुम्भमस्य व्याहत्यालीयथास्त्वं चरणभूमि पुनर्निर्गतो वल्लुहासि. Now I can hear. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
केली मुक्तोऽथ गोपी कुचकलशचिरस्पर्धिनं कुम्भमस्य व्याहत्यालीयथास्त्वं चरणभुवि पुनर्निर्गतो वल्गुहासि केली मुक्तोऽथ गोपी कुचकलश ओके केली मुक्तोऽथ गोपी कुचकलशचिरस्पर्धिनं कुम्भमस्य व्याहत्यालीयतास्त्वं चरणभुवि पुनर्निर्गतो वल्गुहासि.
हस्तप्राप्योऽप्यगम्यो झटिति मुनिजनस्येव धावन् गजेन्द्रं क्रीडन्नापात्य भूमौ पुनरभिपततस्तस्य दन्तं सजीवं मूलादुन्मूल्य तन्मूलकमहितमहामौक्तिकान्यात्ममित्रे प्राधास्त्वं हारमेभिर्ललितविरचितं राधिकायै दिशेति. So when Krishna kind of hides under the elephant's legs, so the elephant is not able to see Krishna, but however it can smell, right? So with its smell, it figures out that he's hiding under it, so it keeps going around. So just like here, Bhattatipat says, just like how the sages who are in very deep meditation, they are about to get hold of the Lord, right, in their mind, but suddenly the Lord slips away from their mind. Similarly, the battle that is going on between elephant and Krishna is the elephant is about to grab Krishna, but somehow he's able to escape and navigate, that is actually going on there. So Krishna this was going on for a while, and Krishna normally is entertaining the crowd. Like we saw in the Kali and Nardhanam, initially he was playing with Kaliya, then everybody starts to feel very upset or worried about what's going to happen to Krishna, at which point he then jumps over to the top of Kaliya. So similarly here he's playing around with the elephant for a while, And eventually at one point, when he figures out that time has actually come, then when Kuvalayapida continues to pursue Krishna, when he figures that time has come, Krishna is able to very easily, that massive sized elephant, he is able to turn him over and make him fall on the ground, and then he's able to drag the elephant and eventually get rid of the elephant. So here it says, and I don't know how true this is, that there are pearls hidden in the elephant's tusk at the edge of it. So here it says, with that pearls, you decide to make a necklace for Radha. But more relevant is Krishna is getting rid of Kuvalaya Pida eventually, right? And then the crowd is really getting surprised now that how such a small 11-year-old boy can fight such a big elephant. Hasta prapyopya gamyo, comma, jhatiti munijanas eva dhavan gajendram, comma, क्रीडन्नापात्य, double न there, क्रीडन्नापात्य भूमौ, comma, पुनरभिपततस्त्स्य दन्तं सजीवम्. हस्तप्राप्योऽप्यगम्यो झटिति मुनिजनस्येव धावन् गजेन्द्रं क्रीडन्नापात्य भूमौ पुनरभिपततस्तस्य दन्तं सजीवम्.
हस्तप्राप्योऽप्यगम्यो झटिति मुनि जनस्य एव धावन् गजेन्द्रं क्रीडन्नापात्य भूमौ पुनरभिपततस्तस्य दन्तं सजीवम्. हस्तप्राप्योऽप्यगम्यो झटिति मुनिजनस् एव धावन् गजेन्द्रं क्रीडन्नापात्य भूमौ पुनरभिपततस्तस्य दन्तं सजीवम्.
हस्तप्राप्योऽप्यगम्यो झटिति मुनिजनस्येव धावन् गजेन्द्रं क्रीडन्नापात्य भूमौ पुनरभिपततस्तस्य दन्तं सजीवम्. हस्तप्राप्योऽप्यगम्यो झटिति मुनिजनस्येव धावन् गजेन्द्रं क्रीडन्नापात्य भूमौ पुनरभिपततस्तस्य दन्तं सजीवम्.
मूलाद् उन्मूल्य, comma, तन्मूलग महित महा मौक्तिकान्यात्म, that's one word, मौक्तिकान्यात्म मित्रे, and then put a plus. So one comma after मूलाद् उन्मूल्य, then the whole line together put a plus. Next line pradastvam, and then put a comma. Pradastvam haramebhir lalita virachitam radhikayai disheti. मूलादुन्मूल्य तन्मूलगमहितमहामौक्तिकान्यात्ममित्रे प्राधास्त्वं हारमेभिर्ललितविरचितं राधिकायै दिशेति.
ஒரு question, after தன்மூலா கமஹிதா அதெல்லாம் ஒரே word, right?
Tanmulaga is one word. Tanmulaga mahita maha.
Okay, thank you. मूलादुन्मूल्य तन्मूलग महित महा मौक्तिकान्यात्ममित्रे प्राधस्त्वं हारमे विरललित विरचितं राधिकायै दिशेति.
The third line la மூலாத் உன்மூல்ய, அதுக்கப்புறம் there is a comma, then it will land for you.
Okay. मूलादुन्मूल्य तन्मूलग महित महा मौक्तिकान्यात्ममित्रे मौक्तिकान्यात्ममित्रे प्राधस्त्वं हारमे बिर्लवे ललित विरचितं राधिकायै दिशेति. அங்கே landing.
No, I'll tell you how to do it. Tanmulaga mahita maha mauktikaanyatmametre pradastvam. Just bring it down a little bit. Pradastvam haramebhir
lalita virachitam radhikayai disheti.
मूलादुन्मूल्य तन्मूलगमहितमहामौक्तिकान्यात्ममित्रे प्रादास्त्वं हारमेभिर्ललितविरचितं राधिकायै दिशेति. मूलादुन्मूल्य तन्मूलगमहितमहामौक्तिकान्यात्ममिद्रे प्रादास्त्वं हारमेभिर्ललितविरचितं राधिकायै दिशेति
and so forth. Grinhanam dantamhamse yutamata halina rangamanga vishantam twam mangalyanga bhangi rabasakrita manolochana bhikshya lokaha hamho dhanyo hinando nahi nahi pashupalanganaha no yashodha no dhanye kshana asmastri jagati vayame veti sarve shashamsuhu. Beautiful stanzas, next two stanzas. So Krishna and Balarama are entering into the arena right now, each of them having carrying one of the tusk of the elephant. And then, when Kamsa saw that the Kuvalya Pida was gotten rid of, and these two brothers are like literally invincible right now, looks like nothing can stop them, then he's just getting more overwhelmed with anxiety, he's getting more upset. So the various people who are in the arena, this stanza is explaining, or Bhagavatam explains it beautifully. So I'm going to say from there, it explains how everybody who's present there is looking at Krishna in different ways. So, for example, the restless Chanura and everybody who's there, they are looking at Krishna and Balarama as if they are like a lightning bolt. They cannot be fought with, right? They're very strong people. The men of Mathura who are present, they look at the small boys saying these are very strong two males, who can just fight over everybody. The women, some of the women who are looking at Krishna and Balarama, or the girls who are falling in love with them, at Krishna and Balarama. The cowherd men who are there from Brajabhumi, for them, Krishna and Balarama are relatives. So for them, they're part of their extended family. Then, the parents who are present, the Nandagopa is present there, Devaki and Vasudeva are present there. So for them, Krishna and Balarama are their child. The king of Bhoja, Kamsa, for Kamsa, Krishna and Balarama are Yama incarnation, right? Because he knows they are there to kill him. So he's looking at them that way. And then the people who are there, the lot of people then also look at you as the Vrishnis in general look at Krishna as somebody who's to be worshipped, right? So this way, each one is looking at Krishna and Balarama in different ways. And here Bhattaripat says beautifully, the people are talking, saying, some people are saying, Nandagopa is so fortunate. He's had such two fantastic boys. Some people say, no, not Nandagopa. It is the Yashoda, who's fortunate because she's the mother, right? She's a fortunate one to have such beautiful, such wonderful boys. Some people say, no, not Nandagopa Yashoda, because Krishna Balarama never stay home. They're always with the Gopikas. The Gopikas are the most fortunate. But then some people say, no, not Gopikas, it's us. Because we are all able to witness what is happening to Krishna and Balarama live. So we are the most fortunate one. And some people say, no, it's the entire people of the three worlds. Everybody is fortunate because of Krishna and Balarama, because even if you cannot see, you can talk about them. So this way, everybody is praising Krishna and Balarama there, and as they enter into the arena. So Grinnanam Dantamamse, comma, Yutamata Halina, Rangam, you can break at that ma, it will be easier. Rangam Angha Vishantam, comma, Twam Mangalyanga Bhangi Rabhasa Hrita Mano Lochana Bhikshya Lokaha. So the entire line is together. Grinhanam dantamhamse yutamata halina rangamanga vishantam twam mangalyanga bhangi rabasakrita mano lochana vikshya lokaha.
Grunhanam dantamamse yutamata halina rangamanga vishantam tvam mangalyanga bhangi rasa bhangi rabhasa ruta manolochana vikshya lokaha. Grunhanam dantamamse yutamata halina rangamanga vishantam Tvam mangalyanga bhangi rabasavruta manolochana vikshya lokaha.
Grinnanam dantamamse yutamata halina rangamanga vishantam tvam mangalyanga bhangi rabasakrita manolochana vikshya loka. Running out of breath. Grinnanam dantamamse yutamata halina rangamanga vishantam tvam विशन्तं त्वां मङ्गल्याङ्गभङ्गी त्वां मङ्गल्याङ्गभङ्गी नभसहृतमनोलोचना वीक्ष्य लोकाः.
The first line, end you just pause.
Yeah, yes.
We didn't pause it the first time, right? So,
okay, yes.
Ham ho dhanyo hi nando, comma, nahi nahi Pashupalanganaha. You're going to add a visarga because we're going to put a comma there. Pashupalanganaha, comma. No Yashoda, comma. No Dhanyekshanaha. Put the is to join. Dhanyekshanas smas trijagati, comma. Vayameveti sarve shashamsuhu. हम हो धन्यो हि नंदो नहि नहि पशुपालांगनाः नो यशोदा नो धन्ये क्षणास्मस्त्रिजगति वयमेवेति सर्वे शशंसुः.
हम हो धन्यो हि नंदो नहि नहि पशुपालांगनाः नो यशोदा नो धन्ये क्षणास्मस्त्रिजति जगति वयमेवेति सर्वे शशंसुः.
And after the Yashoda third line, there is a comma there. No Yashoda, comma.
Okay. Adu smas jagati.
Smas. Tri jagati.
Smas tri jagati. Okay. हम हो धन्यो हि नंदो नहीं नहीं पशुपालांगनाः नो यशोदा नो धन्ये क्षणास्मस्त्रिजगति वयमेवेति सर्वे शशंसुः.
Just question. Danyo nu hi adukaprom.
Danyo hi nando.
Oh, Danyo hi. Okay. Idla Danyo noon put. Okay. Thank you.
அது இந்த tune வரலையே பசுபாங்கலா.
See, because we are putting a comma there just so you can understand, right? Like it's not some people are saying Nanda is Dhanya. Some people are saying the Pashupalangana, the people of Vrajabhumi. Some people are saying no, it's Yashoda. So we're just kind of breaking it up so you can also get a feel for it as you're chanting it, right? So adu solradhu vandu you just say ham ho dhanyo hi nando, comma, nahi nahi pashupalanganaha, comma, no Yashoda. Just end it that way. Then the next line will come properly.
அந்த நூ போடக்கூடாது கீ போடணும்னு சொன்னீங்களா? புக்ல வந்து நூன்னு தான் இருக்கு.
Oh, if you have no in your book, change it to he. Danyo hi nando.
That's what I was saying. Noon. Okay, thank you.
Some books might have had it, yeah.
हो धन्यो हि नन्दो नहि नहि पशुपालाङ्गनाः नो यशोदा नो धन्ये क्षणास्मस्त्रिजगति वयमेवेति सर्वे शशंसुः. हम हो धन्यो हि नन्दो नहि नहि पशुपालाङ्गनाः नो यशोदा नो धन्ये क्षणास्मस्त्रिजगति वयमेवेति सर्वे शशंसुः.
That's right.
Rajeshji, one question. When they say here no Yashoda and no Dhanyekshana, is it no in the meaning of saying illa or is it different?
Literally N-O, no.
No. Okay. So it came from Sanskrit then, right?
No, I don't know if it came from Sanskrit, but Sanskrit is no.
No. Okay. Thank you.
No.
Yeah. Stanza 5. Purnam Brahmaiva Sakshat Niravadi Paramananda Sandra Prakasham Gopeshu Tvam Vyalasihi Nakalu Bahujanai Stavada Vedito Bhuh Drishtva Tatvam Tadedam Pratamam Upagate Punyakale Janaughaha Purnanandha Vipapa Sarasam Abhijaguhu Tvatkritani Smritani. So as people are discussing, like we saw in the previous stanza, some people love Krishna, some people are afraid of Krishna, some people Krishna is like a friend, some people he's the death in himself, right? But at the end of the day, what people, and they keep comparing who's lucky, who's fortunate. But what Bhattripad is saying is what people don't realize is this is because he's Purnam Brahmaiva Sakshat. He's the supreme consciousness who has descended in a human form. So people are not able to understand that. So they keep talking about, all the great things that Krishna and Balarama have done. The people keep talking, saying, you are worried, you are thinking that how did Krishna and Balarama defeat Kuvalaya Pida? He got rid of Putana, he got rid of Shankachuda, he walked between two trees and the trees fell down. And then he got rid of Keshi and Dhenuka, all these other asuras he got rid of. So, he of course, from the forest fire, then he danced on Kaliya, he lifted Govardhana with his hand for 7 days. So he's done all of that. So getting rid of Kuvalaya Pida is not a big deal. So they keep talking about how great Krishna and Balarama are, but they still don't realize that this is Purnam Brahmaiva Sakshat who has come here, right? They are not able to relate to that. But for the people of Mathura, seeing Krishna and Balarama for the first time, they've heard about them, but seeing them for the first time is like they say the first day of the rest of your life, right? It's like that. So for them, it is the next set of their life is going to become so great because this is the time they're actually seeing Krishna and Balarama. And that becomes Punya Kale Janogaha. Good times are starting for the people of Mathura because they're able to see them right now, or they saw them for the first time. Purnam Brahmaiva Sakshat. You'll have a double na there. At least I'm talking as per Sanskrit. English maybe have an n. So this one of the na becomes a it. Sakshat, comma, Niravadhi Paramananda Sandra Prakasham, comma, Gopeshu Tvam Vyalasihi. Put a visargan, comma, Vyalasihi. On top of the na, there is a ir that will go away. Na khalu bahu janais tavadavedito bhuhu. That word is together. Tavadavedito bhuhu. Purnam brahmaiva sakshat niravadi paramananda sandra prakasham gopeshu tvam vyalasihi nakhalu bahu janais tavadavedito bhuhu.
But Velas, there is a half wrong.
That will become a visargan comma. Velasihi.
Velas. Nakalu. Okay. Purnam Brahmaiva Sakshat Niravadi Paramananda Sandra Prakasham Gopeshu Tam Vyalasihi Nakalu Bahujanais Tavada Vedito Bhuhu. Purnam Brahmaiva Sakshat Niravadi Paramananda Sandra Prakasham Gopeshu Tam Vyalasihi Nakalu Bahujanais Tavada Vedito Bhuhu.
Purnam Brahmaiva Sakshat Niravadhi Paramananda Sandra Prakasham Gopeshu Tvam Vyalasihi Nakhalu Bahujanais Tavada Vedito Bhuhu. Purnam Brahmaiva Sakshat Niravadhi Paramananda Sandra Prakasham Gopeshu Tvam Vyalasihi Nakhalu Bahujanais Tavada Vedito Bhuhu.
Drishtvat Tvam Tadedam, comma, Prathamam Upagate Punyakale Janoghaha, comma, Purna Nanda Vipapaha, put a is to join, Vipapas, Sarasam Abhijaguhu, that is will go away, put a visarga, comma, Sarasam Abhijaguhu, comma, Tvat Kritani Smritani. Smrita is to remember. So they talked about all your activities. Drishtva tatvam tadedam pratamam upagate punyakale janaughaha purnananda vipapa sarasam abhijaguhu tvatkritani smritani.
Drushtva Tatvam Pratama Upagate Punhyakale Janoghaha Purnananda Vipapaha Papa Sarasamabi Abhijagustatvat Kutani Sprutani.
And the fourth line, Tarasamabijaguhu, put a visarga comma there instead of the is. You're pausing there.
Okay.
And then one word you completely.
Jaguhu.
I think third line you left one word. Why don't you say it again? I'll tell you. I think one word was missing when you said.
One word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just go again. Yeah.
Pata Twam. அதே இருக்கீங்க.
Drishtva tatvam tadedam.
Twata. இல்ல, one is missing இங்க. Drishtva tatvam இருக்கு இங்க.
Tadedam.
அது இல்ல அது.
Tadedam, comma.
இல்ல அது. Tadedam.
Yeah.
Okay. Drishtva tatvam tadedam pratama upagate punyakale janogaha purnananda vipapaha papa sarasa mabigajas jaguhu svakrutani sprutani.
And the fourth line, Purnananda vipapa sarasamabijaguhu.
Purnananda vipapa sarasamabijaguhu sprutani.
Yeah, that is will go away. So
just is padu kutani sprutani.
Yeah.
दृष्ट्वा तत्त्वां तदेदं प्रथमम् उपगते पुण्यकाले जनौघाः पूर्णानन्दा विपापा सरसमभिजगुः त्वत्कृतानि स्मृतानि. दृष्ट्वा तत्त्वां तदेदं प्रथमम् उपगते पुण्यकाले जनौघाः पूर्णानन्दा विपापा सरसमभिजगुः त्वत्कृतानि स्मृतानि.
We'll switch halfway. Ravi, if you're there, you can be a student, and Malini, you can be a student.
This is really beautiful, Rajesh. In the these two verses are very beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said when you're saying it really kind of talks about how people perceive Krishna in different ways, but nobody understands truly that it is the supreme consciousness who has come. So of course, but that's why, and this will again come in 88 at the end is for Krishna there is no restriction how you want to think about him. Anybody who thinks about him is going to get liberated. It doesn't matter how you think about him.
Yeah, really, when you feel and chant, you really feel it.
Yeah, and that's why that sakshat and all we are breaking it because saying it together, Purnam Brahmaiva Saksha Niravadi Parama, then it will just go away. So you pause there, and even same way in the stanza 4, Nahi Nahi Pashupala Anganaha, no Yashoda. So you can feel people having that conversation of how they're going.
Thank you for teaching this one.
No worries. I didn't write it either, so you don't have to thank me. It's stanza 6. Chanuro mallavirastadanu nripagirha mushtiko mushtishali tvam ramam chabhipede jhata jhatiti mito mushtipatati ruksham utpata patana karshana bibidharanan yasatam tatra chitram mrityoh pragheva malla prabhuragamadayam bhurisho bhanda mokshan. So now they have come inside the arena. So like Kamsa, like we said, had different plans, right? He sent Keshi, nothing happened, and then he told them to come. Then he was going to get rid of them the previous day. That did not work. Kubalaya Pida did not work. Finally, he has his last two people left. So the Chanura and Mushtika, who are the two wrestlers who are there. So the Kamsa gives an order saying, Chanura, Mushtika, you go wrestle with Krishna and Balarama. So Chanura comes and says, you guys, Krishna, Balarama says, you are all like, you are well respected, you look young, but then you are very skillful. The king Bhojaraja knows about your strength and he's heard all great things about you. Now he wants to witness it, right? And, it's very well known that you are, you like to wrestle because you are cowherds, right? So you go to graze your animals in the forest, you all wrestle with each other, so you all kind of know how wrestling works, and we have great things we heard about it, so let's wrestle, That's what Chanura says. So Krishna says, look, we are like, first of all, we are young boys. We are like 11-year-old boys, and we should be competing with people who are of equal strength of us, right? And you guys are big, massive wrestlers. So how can we, wrestle with you? It's not even fair. However, the king has said it. So of course, whatever the king has said, we have to follow his instructions, right? We have to meet his desires. So we should do it. But Chanura says, no, 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 you can't escape from me like this, because we know your strength. You literally got rid of Kuvalaya Pida, right? Who has the strength of 1,000 elephants. You got rid of them. So, no wonder you can easily fight. So with that, they start fighting with each other. So Krishna is paired off with Chanura, and Balarama is paired off with Mushtika. And here Bhattacharya, of course, his poetic wonder, he says, when liberation, how does it come? Liberation comes from separating things from you, right? You have to let go things to get liberated. But here, Mushtika, because he's embracing Krishna, he's embracing something, not letting go Krishna, then he's getting liberated because of that. Because by fighting Krishna, what is Mushtika doing? He's actually hugging Krishna, right? And he doesn't want to let go Krishna. So he says Mushika is so blessed because of that, right? He doesn't have to worry about letting anything go. He has to actually embrace, which is what he's doing. So anyway, the battle starts between Mushtika and Krishna, Chanura and Krishna, and Mushtika and Balarama here. So Chanuro Mallaviras Tadanu Nripagira, Mushtiko Mushtishali, Twam Ramam Chabhipede, Jhata Jhatiti Mito Mushti Patati Ruksham. Chanuro Mallavirastadanu Nrupagirha Mushtiko Mushtishali Twam Ramam Chabhipede Jhata Jhatiti Mito Mushti Patati Ruksham.
Chanuro Mallavirastadanu Nrupagirha Mushtiko Mushtisali Twam Ramam Sabibete Jada Jaditimito Mushtipadhadiruksham. Chanuro Mallavirastadanu Mushtigo Mushtisali Twam Ramam Sabibete Jada Jaditimito Mushtipadhadiruksham.
ராஜேஷ்தி ராமஞ்ச் அப்படின்னு இருக்கு, ராமம்னு சொல்லணுமா?
ராமம் சாபிபேதே.
ராமஞ்சுன்னு இருக்கு, இங்க எடுத்துட்டு இம்மு போடணும்.
ஆமா, I don't know why your book has that. Yeah, but Tvam Ramam Chabipede. Yeah, correct.
Chanuro Mallaviras Tadanu Nripikara Mushtiko Mushtishali Tvam Ramam Chabipede Jadaja Jaditi Mido Mushtipadhadiruksham. Chanuro Mallaviras Tadanu Nripagira Mushtiko Mushtishali Tvam Ramam Chabipede Jadaja Jaditi Mido Mushtipadhadiruksham.
Utpatha Patanakarshana. This sentence is going to be a long one. Cannot break it in a lot of places, unfortunately. Utpatha Patanakarshana Bhividharanan Yasatam. Okay, you have to pretty much say the whole word together. Bhividharanan Yasatam Tatra Chitram, comma at the very end. Mrityoho, put a F to join. Mrityoh Prageva Malla Prabura Gamadayam, Bhurisho Bandha Mokshan. Utpatha Patana Karshana Vividharanan Yasatam Tatra Chitram Mrityoh Prageva Malla Prabura Gamadayam Bhurisho Bandha Mokshan.
Utpada Padanagarshana Vivitarana Yasadam Tatra Chetram Mrityo Prageva Malla Prabhuragamatayam Urisho Banta Mokshan. Utpada Padanagarshana Vivitarana Yasadam Tatra Chetram Mrityo Prageva Malla Prabhuragamatayam Urisho Banta Mokshan.
Utpada Padanakarshana Vividharanan Yasatam Tatra Chitram Mrityoh Prageva Malla Prabhuraga प्रभुरगमदयं भूरिशो बन्धमोक्षान् उत्पादापादनाकर्षणविविधरणान् यासतां तत्र चित्रं मृत्योः प्रागेव मल्लप्रभुरगमदयं भूरिशो बन्धमोक्षान्.
दिक्कष्टं कुमारौ सुललितवपुषौ मल्लवीरौ कठोरौ न द्रक्ष्यामो व्रजामस्त्वरितमिति जने भाषमाने तदानीं चानूरं तं करोद्भ्रामनविगलदसुं पोतयामासितोर्व्यां पिष्टो भून्मुष्टिकोऽपि द्रुतमतः हलिना नष्टशिष्टैर्दधावे. So the battle just, they all start fighting with each other. They're locking each other's hands together. They're locking each other's legs together. And then they all start hitting each other with their fists, right? Knee against knee, head against head, chest against chest. Like we said, how wrestling goes, right? You essentially have to hug and embrace, and they're kind of beginning to hit each other. So each one, is like just dragging, they keep going in circles and throwing each other's down. That's going on. So when this is going on, the people in the audience are like, they custom. It's so unfortunate because these are Kumarao, these are youth who are only 11 years old. When somebody is 11 years old, you can imagine it's a Sulalita Vapushao. Their body is so tender. So how can somebody who's 11 years old, who has such tender bodies, go and battle against these massive wrestlers? They say this is very, very unfortunate. He says the wrestlers are not understanding that this is unfair. The people who are sitting there, the assembly, the people, the ministers who are sitting there, even they are being very unfair to let this happen. How can the king let this happen? Nobody seems to be resisting. So with this, all the women and the other people who are in the crowd begin to walk away, saying that it's impossible for us to witness certain unfortunate situation because the boys are just going to get crushed, right? So when they start walking away, when that is beginning to happen, so Krishna again, like he always does, he's okay, time has come now. And with that, and at the time, what also happens is that parents are also there, right? Devaki, Vasudeva are also there. Even though Devaki and Vasudeva know the truth about who Krishna is, it always hides them. For them, at the end of the day, Krishna is their child, right? So you remember in 38 Dasakam we spoke about, even though Krishna showed his Chaturbhujam, showed he is the Lord, Devaki said, no, please come back to your original form. Don't show that form because people will kidnap you, right? She's so worried about something happening to her child. So similarly here, they're all getting worried. So at that time, Krishna and Balarama eventually then get rid of Chanura and Mushtika. They defeat them in the wrestling match. And the other wrestlers who are there, they all run away then. So ha dhik kashtam kumarau sulalita vapushau, mallavirau kathorau, na drakshyamo vrajamas tvaritamiti, jane bhashamane tadanim. Ha dhik kashtam kumarau sulalita vapushau mallavirau kathorau na drakshyamo vrajamas tvaritamiti jane bhashamane tadanim.
Sulalita
Sulalita.
Sulalita. Yeah, Su is always prefix for good. So Sulalita.
அப்ப சா போட்டா அதுக்கு மீனிங் வேறவா?
I don't know what Salalita will mean.
Salalita, okay.
That because Lalita is like very what do you call tender. So Sulalita means very tender.
Adikashtam kumarau sulalita vabushau mallavirau kadorau nadrakshamo vrajamas dvaritamiti jane bhashamane tadani. Adikashtam kumarau sulalita vabushau mallavirau kadorau nadrakshamo vrajamas dvaritamiti jane vashamane tadanim.
Rajesh ji, is it Katorau or Katarau?
Katorau. I think second time he said Kataro, but first time he said Katorau.
Katorau. No problem. Just wanted to check. Thank you, sir.
Adikashtam kumarau sulalita vabushau mallavirau katorau natrakshyamo vrajamas tvaritamiti jane bhashamane dadanim. Hadikashtam kumarau सुललितवपुषौ मल्लवीरौ कठोरौ नत्र क्ष्यामो व्रजामस्त्वरितमिति जने त्वरितमिति त्वरितमिति जने पाशमाणे तदानीम्.
The first line like Kumaro kapram, there's no pause. Okay, the pause is after Sulalita Vapusha. Okay. Chanuram tam karodbrahmana vigaladasum, comma, potaya masitorvyam, cannot break that, potaya masitorvyam, comma, pishto bhoon mushtikopi drutamata halina, comma, nashta shishtair dhadave. Chanuram tam karodbrahmana vigaladasum potayamasitorvyam pishto bhoon mushtikopi drutamata halina nashta shishtair dhadave.
Chanuram tam karod brahmana vigaladasum bodhayam asidorvyam Vishto bhoon mushtigobi dhritamadahalina nashtasishtair tadave. Chanuram tam karod brahmana vigaladasum bodhayam asidorvyam Vishto bhoon mushtigobi dhritamadahalina nashtasishtair tadave.
Chanuram tam grod brahmana vikalatasum bodhayamasi doravyam bodhayamasi Vishto bhoon mushtiko bhidritamata halina nashtashishtair tadave.
And the third line like Karod Brahmana.
Chanuram
Karod
Brahmana. Okay. Chanuram tam karod Brahmana vikalatasum. Adu correct solla. Vikalatasum bodhayam dorvyam Vishto bhoon mushtiko bhidritamata halina nashtashishtair dadave.
75 is a little bit of a tough chapter, in the words. Stanza 8. Kamsa samvarya turyam khalamatiravitham karyamaryan pitram stanahantum vyaptamurte stavacha samashishad duramutsaranaya prushto dushtokti garuda ivagirim mancha manchan udanchat kadga vyavalgadus sangraham apicha hatat pragrahir augrasenim. So now that Chanura and Mushtika are gotten rid of, so Krishna and Balarama then calls all their young friends, because there's music going on, right? Because the wrestling match is going on. So there's still music. So Krishna and Balarama call the boys, they're all dancing in that arena. So just like how it happens in movies, same thing happens. So Kamsa first says, stop that music, because these boys seem to be having too much fun. They're getting rid of Kuvalaya Pida, they got rid of Chanura and Mushtika, and now they're out there dancing in the arena. So Kamsa says, first stop the music. Then he makes an announcement. He says, drive these two boys away from here, because he's now worried they're going to come for him next. So he commands everybody saying, drive these two boys away, arrest their parents. That's what the villain always does, right? He first goes and arrests their parents. So he goes, arrest Nandagopa, arrest Vasudeva, arrest Devaki, and put them back in jail, because they were out of jail for a long time, Devaki and Vasudeva. He says now they have to get back into jail. So he puts them back into jail, and then he says arrest these people, and then he tells the people to follow Krishna and Balarama and then go and follow them. So at that time, Krishna says, okay, finally the time has come, right? And then what he does is, remember I said in the first stanza, Kamsa is sitting on the top dais. So Krishna then jumps up to the top dais. Here it says, just like how it says, where is that word which comes here that I'm looking for? Garuda ivagirim mancha manchan udanchat. Just like how Garuda, if there is a snake that is there, the Garuda has to grab that snake. It leaps up to the top of the mountain to grab that snake. Similarly here, Krishna then leaps up to the top of the dais and then tries to get hold of Kamsa. the son of Ugrasena, Ugrasenim, that's the word coming there. However, Kamsa then takes his khadgam with his sword, and then he tries to, defend himself, and then he keeps moving from side to side, and Krishna is also kind of trying to grab hold of Kamsa here. So Kamsaha put is Kamsa Samvarya Turyam, comma, Kalamatiravidan Karyam Aryan Pitrum Stan. So this word, you have to put a plus at the end of that line. Then I'll tell you what to do. First, put a plus at the end of that line. And then the next line, you will have Nahantum, right? So that na, you bring it to the end of the first line. So Pitrum Stan Ahantum. Then it's easier to say. So Karyam Aryan Pitrum Stan Ahantum, comma, Vyapta Murtes Tava Cha Samashishat Duram Utsaranaya. Kamsa Samharya Turyam Kalamatiravidan Karyamaryan Pitram Stanahantum Vyapta Murte Stavacha Samashisha Duramutsaranaya.
Kamsa Samvarya Duryam Kalamatiravidan Karyamaryan Pitrum Stan Ahantum Vyapta Murte Stava Samishat Duram Utsaranaya.
The second line, Samashishat.
Samashishat, right?
எங்க காமா காரியமானான் அந்த லைன்
Turyam, after Turyam there is a comma. First line.
அதுல செகண்ட் லைன் கேக்குறேன்.
Second line Ahantum.
ஆஹந்தும்க்கு அப்புறம். Okay.
Then the rest of the line is together.
Kamsa Samvarya Duryam Kalamadi Ravidan Karyamaryan Pitrum Stanahantum Vyapta Murte Davacha Samisha Duram Utsaranaya.
It's Tavacha Sama Shesha. Is that correct?
The word நீங்க திருப்பி சொல்லுங்க ரவி. Tavacha
Samasishat Duram Utsaranaya.
Yeah.
Kamsa Samvarya Turyam Kalamadiraviden Karyamaryan Pitrumstan Ahantum Vyapta Murte Stava Sama Shishat Duram Utsaranaya.
I'll say it once, right? So Kamsa Samvarya Turyam, pause.
Okay.
Kalamati Ravidan Karyamaryan Pitram Stanahantum Yapta Murte Stavacha Samashishat Duramutsaranaya.
Samashishatla or comma?
Illa comma illa, but I'm just breaking it separately so it's easy to say.
Okay. இது ராஜேஸ்வரி அந்த கலமத்திர விதன் அது அப்புறமா காமா இருக்காங்க.
Only comma is at the after Turyam in the first line. Everything else goes together.
Thank you.
You go ahead, Malini, one more time.
Okay. Kamsa Samvarya Duryam Kalamadiravidan Karyamaryan Pitrum Stanahantum Vyapta Murtes Tavat Samasishat Duram Utsar.
Che you're missing.
Tavacha Samasishat Duram Utsaranaya.
அந்த ஒரு லெட்டர் மிஸ் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா அந்த சந்தி ருஷ்டோ துஷ்டோக்தி பிஸ்துவம் comma. This stanza is anyway a little bit of a very tough stanza only. Duštokti bhistvam, comma. Garuda iva girim mancha manchanudanchat. That word you have to say it together. Mancha manchanudanchat. Put a plus. Khadga vyavalga dussangrahamapi chahatat. Then a comma. So third line, comma it after Duštokti bhistvam, comma. Then the whole third line together, whole fourth line together, after hatat, comma, pragrahir augrasenim, if you want to break it, referring to ugrasena. रुष्टो दुष्टोक्तिभिस्त्वं गरुड इव गिरिं मञ्चन्नुदञ्चत् खड्गव्यावल्गदुःसङ्ग्रहमपि च हठात् प्राग्रहीरौग्रसेनिम्
दृष्टो दुष्टोक्तिभिस्त्वं गरुड इव गिरिं मञ्जन्नुदञ्चत् खड्गव्यावल्गदुःसङ्ग्रहमपि च हठात् प्राग्रहीर औग्रसेनिम् पृष्ठो दुष्टोक्तिभिस्त्वं गरुड इव गिरिं मञ्जन् उदञ्जत् खड्गव्यावल्क दुःसङ्ग्रहमपि च हठात् प्राग्रहीर औग्रसेनिम्
पृष्टो दुष्टोक्तिभिस्त्वं गरुड इव गिरिं मञ्जमञ्जन्नुदञ्चत् खड्गव्यावल्क दुःसङ्गग्रहमपि च हठात् प्राग्रहीर औग्रसेनिम् दृष्टो दुष्टोक्तिभिस्त्वं गरुड इव गिरिं मञ्चन्नुदञ्चत् खड्गव्यावल्क दुःसङ्गग्रहमपि च हठात् प्राग्रहीर औग्रसेनिम्.
Sorry, the last line, how do I split it? After Hatat, comma, Brakrahir, in Tamil we have Brakrahiraugra Senim.
And the Rau வந்து I'm just breaking it for convenience. You don't have to. You can see Pragrahiraugra Senim together if you want. Okay. But if you want
He would be one word, right?
And the Rau வந்து you're breaking it into Ir and Au.
Correct. Okay.
Ugrasenim இல்லையா? The Ugrasenim எப்படி அடுத்தது?
Because Ugrasena is the name.
Correct.
So son of Ugrasena is Augrasenam.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it is, that's on Sanskrit, and like Vasudeva, like you're saying that way, right? Similarly, Ugrasena, Augrasena means a son of Ugrasena, it becomes.
Okay. That makes
Thank you.
Answer 9. Sadhyo nishpishta sandhim bhuvi narapatimaapatya tasyoparishta tvaya patye tadaiva त्वदुपरि पतितानाकिनां पुष्पवृष्टिः किं भ्रूमस्तधानी सततमपि भिया त्वद्गतात्मा सभेजे सायुज्यं त्वद्वदोत्ता परमपरमियं वासना कालनेमे. So then Krishna, Kamsa tries to run away from Krishna, right? And Krishna then grabs Kamsa's hair, knocks off his crown, and then pushes him on to the wrestling area. So from the dais, they both jump into the wrestling area, and then Krishna then gets on top of Kamsa, and then eventually gets rid of Kamsa, right? And then he is then bringing Kamsa out for everybody to see that he's been gotten rid of. Now, like we said, Kamsa has always been disturbed by the thought that Krishna was going to be getting rid of him. So, when he is like drinking, when he's eating, he's moving about, he's sleeping, he's always had that worry that this Krishna, because he's heard that Ashari Vak say that the 8th son of Devaki is going to get rid of you. And he knew it was going to be Hari who is going to come in that form. So he was always thinking about Krishna, because of which he also gets the form of Krishna. Like we said, there's no right or wrong in Krishna Avataram. As long as you're thinking about Krishna all the time in any way you want. We are in Margari Masam. We know how Andal, was thinking about Krishna as her husband, right? Even at a young age. So that's absolutely fine. So he then gets that Swarupyam, he gets that form. Now, here one word is coming, and I remember telling this. I told it because I know I always tell it. 8 months back in Dasakam 28, when we were 29, when we did, the word Kalanemi came. So it says in Dasakam 29, if you scroll back, it will come. Let's see which stanza it is. Dasakam 29, 7th stanza. It will come. Tvam Kalanemi mitamali mukanja gandha. In that churning of the ocean, when it comes, when after all this, they go and the Asuras try to take this nectar, then the battle that goes, eventually Vishnu will come and will say, you, O Vishnu, got rid of Kalanemi, right? The same Kalanemi reference is coming here. Twadvadota parama paramiyam vasana kalaneme. So that vasana, that what Kalanemi was thinking, how did Kalanemi die? He died at the hand of Mahavishnu. At the time, he didn't get liberated though, because he still had so much bad karma left, right? So that Kalanemi, right from that birth, he's been fighting with the Lord. So that Kalanemi, who was actually born as Kamsa. And I'll tell more details about this backstory in the 77th chapter, because this is going to come again. But here it says that Kalanemi, who was killed, gotten by Vishnu, that Vasanai, that inherent nature still remained in him, right, of hating the Lord. So when he's born as Kamsa one more time, continues to hate the Lord, but because he's been thinking so much over so many janmams, he's been thinking about the Lord, finally he's actually getting liberated in this birth of his, right? So some of these things, when you kind of look back and look at the broader picture, right, broader context of things, it says that everything that is happening is, it's not like something is happening for the first time. You're sitting here learning Narayaniyam not because suddenly in this birth you decided I'm going to learn Narayaniyam, right? There's just some vasana that's been going on for, so many births of getting attached to the Lord in some form or fashion. Here it is opposite for Kalanemi and Kamsa, right? That's the only difference. So anyway, so it is that continues, and eventually he's liberated here in this birth when he's born as Kamsa. And we'll see why he was born as Kamsa with the activities he did in the 77th chapter. Sadhyo nishpishta sandhim, bhuvi narapatim apatya tasyo. So put a plus at the end of that line first. Narapatim apatya tasyoparishtat tvayapatye. So that word will come together. Tasyoparishtat. So the next line there's two ith in Sanskrit. You bring one of that ith to the first line. So tasyoparishtat tvayapatye tadaiva, then a comma. Twadupari patita nakinam pushpa vrishtihi. Sadhyo nishpishta sandhim bhuvi narapatimapatya tasyoparishta tvayapatye tadaiva twadupari patita nakinam pushpa vrishtihi. Just one time, Ravi.
Okay. Satyo nishpitta santim bhuvi narapatim abhati dasyoparishtat dvayapatye tadaiva tadupari patita naginam pushpa vrishtihi.
Satyo nishpishta sandhim bhuvi narapadim abhatya tasyoparishta abhatya tasyoparishta tvayapatye tadaiva nikkanama tvayapatye.
Stop, yeah. Tasyoparishta tvayapatye tadaiva.
Parishta tvayapatye tadaiva twadupari padita naginam pushpavrishtihi.
Kim bhrumas tadanim, satatamapi bhiya tvat gatatma sa bheje sayujyam. So put a plus and then a comma after sayujyam. So you eventually goes and attains sayujyam with the Lord. Bheje sayujyam, twadvadhota parama paramiyam vasana kalanemehe. Kim bhrumhastadhanim satatamapi bhiya twadgatatma sa bheje sayujyam twadvadhota parama paramiyam vasana kalanemehe.
Kim brahmastadanim satatamabhiviyat tvatkadatma sabheje sayujyam tvatvadota paramaparamiyam vasana kalanemehe.
Kim brumastadanim tasadadamabhipiyat tvatkadatma sapeje sayujyam dvatvadota paramaparamiyam vasana kalanemehe.
And anytime it is kind of coming into the next line, right? the best way, like I said, is you bring that and the tune order konjam down, like Satatamapi bhiya twadgadatma sabheje sayujyam twadvadota parama paramiyam. Okay, then it will land properly.
Okay.
Answer 10. तद्भ्रातॄनष्टपिष्ट्वा द्रुतमतपितरौ सन्नमन्नुग्रसेनं कृत्वा राजानमुच्चैर्यदुकुलमखिलं मोदयन् कामधानैः भक्तानामुत्तमं चोद्धवममरगुरोराप्तनीतिं सकायं लब्ध्वा तुष्टो नगर्यां पवनपुरपतेरुन्धिमे सर्वरोगान्. So Kamsa also had Ashta Bhratrun. He also had 8 brothers. So, they also were also equally evil. So they were also gotten rid of. Eventually, Krishna and Balarama go and meet their parents, Devaki and Vasudeva. When from the time of Balarama has never met. Krishna at least has met, right, at the time of his birth. So they're meeting them all after like 11 years or 12 years, whatever. And then they go finally prostrate to their parents because now they are going to be their parents, right? And then he frees Ugrasena and makes Ugrasena the king because Kamsa had taken the throne away from Ugrasena and he became the king, right? So he established Ugrasena as the king. And with that, you made Modayan Kamada, made everybody happy, right? And then another beautiful line happening in the third one. So anytime they're comparing, saying who's the greatest, right? When they say who's the greatest friend of Krishna, it's not Kuchela or Sudama. It's Uddhava. So here, and we'll see how and why. So here it says, you then get to meet Uddhava, who's there, who's the greatest friend of yours, of Krishna. And this Uddhava is somebody who has learned directly from Chodham Amara Gurur. He's directly learned it from Brihaspati. He's learned all the Vedas and he's got the knowledge. So that Uddhava becomes your friend. And from there, when Krishna finally departs the earth, Uddhava is the last person who is there with him, right? So from now till Krishna departs, Uddhava is always there with him because Uddhava is one of his closest friends. With that, this chapter comes to an end. Pavana Purapate Guru Arapa, please get rid of all of my ailments. Tad bhratrun ashtapishtva, drutamata pitarau sannaman nugrasenam, put a plus, kritva rajanam Uchair, Yadukulam, Akhilam. I'm just breaking all these words for those who want. Rajanam, Uchair, Yadukulam, Akhilam, Modayan, Kamadanaihi. Tadbhratrunashtapishtva, Drutamata pitarau sannamannugrasenam kritva rajanam Uchair, Yadukulam, Akhilam, Modayan, Kamadanaihi.
तद्भ्रातॄन् अष्टभिष्ट्वा धृतमद पितरौ सन्नमन् उग्रसेनं कृत्वा राजानमुच्चैर्यदुकुलमखिलं मोदयन् कामदानैः
तद्भ्रातृनष्टभिष्ट्वा धृतमतपितरौ सन्नमन्नुग्रसेनं कृत्वा எங்க கமாவே கிடையாது அதுல.
அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் லைன் பிஷ்டுவாக்கு அப்புறம் ஒரு காமா, நெக்ஸ்ட் இஸ் ஆஃப்டர் அகிலம் இன் தி செகண்ட் லைன்.
ஓகே சாரி. முதல்ல சொல்றேன். தத்ப்ராத்ருநஷ்டபிஷ்ட்வா धृतमतपितरौ सन्नमन्नुग्रसेनं कृत्वा राजानम् कुलमखिलं मोदयन् कामदानैः. Oh my God.
In the chapter நிறைய அந்த மாதிரி it's like very like long lines and things like that, but anyway
pattern completely
ஆமா because the words like even the next one, right? Bhaktanam uttamam chodhavam amara guror. You can break that word into 3 parts. Chodhavam amara guror aptanithim sakayam labdhva. Because labdhva is to obtain, sakayam is a friend, so obtaining him as a friend. So the end of the line is a plus after sakayam, after labdhva is a comma. Okay, so that whole third line and then labdhva comma tushto nagaryam, another comma saying you went back to the town city. Pavana purapate rundhime sarvarogan. So third line no comma, fourth line 2 commas after labdhva and after nagaryam. भक्तानामुत्तमं चोद्धवममरगुरोराप्तनीतिं सखायं लब्ध्वा तुष्टो नगर्यां पवनपुरपतेरुन्धि मे सर्वरोगान्.
भक्तानाम् उत्तमं सोद्धवम् अमरगुरोर् आप्तनीतिं सगायं लब्ध्वा दुष्टो नगर्यां भवनपुरपते रुन्धि मे सर्वरोगान्.
उत्तमञ्जोत्तवममर ஆப்தநீதிம் அங்க கமா கிடையாதுல்ல.
சோத்தவம் அமர குரோர் ஆப்தநீதிம் சகாயம்
லப்த்வா துஷ்டோ நகர்யாம் பவனபுரபதே ருந்திமே சர்வரோகான்.
The third line is together, so another will be a little long line, but you can break at those words.
I don't know. I kept putting a commas wrong places, so I'm.
The third line there's no comma. Fourth line is comma after labdva nagarya. Okay. Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. Sandhanandhavabodhatmakamanupamitam kaladeshavadebhyam nirmuktam nityamuktam nigamashatasahasrena nirbhasyamanam aspashtam drishtamatre punarurupurusharthatmakam brahmatattvam tattavadbhati sakshat gurupavanapure hanta bhagyam jananam कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. Thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank
you.
உங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் by heart வந்தா
ரொம்ப வருஷமா சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கேன். I learned it when I was a teenager, right?
This is really breathtaking, sir. I couldn't even breathe half of the time when you were chatting. I'm like, where to breathe, kind of.
This chapter is tough.
இல்ல when you are chanting in the group எல்லாமே அப்படியே சொல்றீங்க இல்ல நீங்க.
Everybody also, right? If you see, notice, not only this, from 90 it gets very hard. 90 to 100 is very, very hard.
But I'm with Rajesh.
You came, Radha, you saw Ratiji and Bhuvana, everybody was going at super fast pace. Because it's one of those things when the chapters get hard, people probably put more effort and it's super fun to chant. And especially in any Parayanam we do, once we hit 85, the last 15 just goes in 1 hour, right? Everybody who chants goes at super fast pace. Because it's those long 4-liners, right? The practice panni, you get it to a point where it then becomes very fun to chant at that pace.
That you should actually give us some kind of a practice schedule after, in the sense, this is learning. We are learning before class, after class, எல்லாம் பண்ணல. அதுக்கப்புறம் நம்மளே வீட்ல எப்படி how we can over chapter or anything, அந்த மாதிரி some kind of schedule or something. That would be better, because otherwise we will forget it, honestly, if we don't keep doing it.
What I am doing is, I will, when somebody else is chanting, I put it to mute and I also chant.
Yeah, that we do in class. Class la pannadhu. That is one thing. But post all this, there should be a way to, we practice. It's not like we don't practice, but it's like doing it together, at least 2-3 together. அதெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம்
ராஜேஷ் ஜி, நீங்க முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறமா இத நிச்சயமா 1.5 வருஷத்துக்கு மேல படிச்சா கூட எனக்கு உங்க அளவுக்கு பேசுவேன். நான் உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் நான் எப்படி ஆரம்பிச்சேங்கிறது. அத நான் தப்பு சொல்லல. பட் இவ்வளவு தூரம் நான் பண்றதே உங்களோட ஹெல்ப் தான். ஆனா இத அப்படியே நான் விட்டுட கூடாது.
இல்ல, you know how you started in Dasakam 1, you know how you are right? Similarly, you put the effort, right? That's all. See, other than practicing it, there's no other way out. There's no other way out, right?
ஆனா எனக்கு அந்த மாதிரி மீனிங் எல்லாம் ஞாபகமே இருக்க மாட்டேங்கிறது. இப்ப நீங்க 26, 37 ஸ்லோகம் வரைக்கும் சொல்றேன்.
அதுக்குதான் ரெக்கார்டிங். I go back to the recordings always. நான்
ரெக்கார்டிங்கே கேட்க மாட்டேன். இவரோடது மட்டும் அந்த பாயிண்ட் 65ல போட்டுண்டு ஒரு வார்த்தையா இச்சு இந்த இஷ் எல்லாம் இது வராது எனக்கு தமிழ் இருக்கிறதுனால. இஷ் அதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். அத நான் ஒரு 10 வாட்டி படிப்பேன். இவரோட 65ல வச்சுப்பேன், சம்டைம்ஸ் 55ல வச்சுப்பேன். ஆனா எனக்கு ஏதோ ஓரளவுக்கு நான் படிச்சுடுறேன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். ஆனா அதை படிக்க படிக்க என்ன அதை நிறுத்தவே விடாது. நான் இந்த மாதிரி பிராக்டிஸ் பண்ணும்போது
there's only three things. One is you have to practice on your own. Everybody has to. There's no alternate way. That's number one. Number two, I know like Kritika and Maithili, they practice. They team up and they practice. So you have to find a practice buddy. We have like 75 people, 80 people in Chicago who have learned Narayaneeyam. Okay, so if you really want to find a practice, rather like you live next to Shobha Ramesh. Right? You just have to find a practice buddy, right? Because then it will absolutely help because
you're
practicing with that person.
இப்ப மைத்திலி இல்ல 4ஆம் தேதி தான் வருவா. இப்ப அது வரைக்கும் நான் மட்டும் உங்களோடது மட்டும் போட்டுட்டு நீங்க எனக்கு சொல்லிட்டே காதுல நான் பேசுவேன்.
Correct. So the second one is you have to find a practice buddy, right? Third one is we have so many Parayanams, right? December month we had a full Parayanam in St. Louis. We had a Parayanam at Sabita's house last week. January we have a Parayanam coming in Ganesh Gayatri temple. Then in February and March we have some more Parayanams coming at people's house. All of that I'll be posting.
Barrington Ganesh Gayatri, yeah.
So you have to make an attempt to say, I am going to come to those Parayanams. And then I'm going to use that Parayanam as an anchor to prepare. Like the Ganesh Gayatri temple in January is going to be chapters 1 to 51. It's not going to be 100. So you say, okay, today is December 21st. I have 1 month left to January 25th, right? So in 1 month, I'm going to practice those 51 chapters. Because when I come to that Parayanam, I'll be able to say the 51 chapters. Right? You kind of have to set Andamari or because we have so many such Parayanams coming right now next year that you kind of put that as a goal and you prepare towards it. Without a goal, you'll just be going on.
நான் அந்த மயிலாப்பூர் ஆத்து பொண்ணுகிட்ட கேட்டேன். ஐம் சாரி, அந்த மயிலாப்பூர் ஆத்து பொண்ணு இருக்கால, அவள்கிட்ட கூட கேட்டேன். டெக்சாஸ்ல யாரோ பண்றா, நான் உனக்கு ஜாயின் பண்ணி விடுறேன் அப்படின்னு கூட அவ கூட சொன்னான்.
சாரி நான் வந்து நான் பிராக்டிஸே பண்றது டபால்னு வந்து எனக்கு எந்த தசகம்ங்கிறது நீங்க காமன் வந்து பார்த்தோம். நீங்க சொல்றத பார்த்தா எனக்கு ஒரே அதிகமா
நீங்க திவ்ய பிரபந்தம் எல்லாம் சொல்றீங்க. So for you like the long words don't seem to be a problem.
இல்ல அது இல்ல, இப்ப படிக்கிறது கஷ்டம் தெரியல, ஓரளவுக்கு இருக்கும். பட் நீங்க சொல்லி தரதுலாம் வெரி ரியலி ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல். வந்து இல்ல எனக்கு வந்து நீங்க எப்பவுமே போடுவீங்களா அந்த ப்ரோக்ராம்ஸ் எல்லாமே? நான் பாக்குறது இல்ல.
நான் உங்களுக்கு அன்னைக்கு கூட மெசேஜ் பண்ணேன், நீங்க சபிதாத்துக்கு வரையலாம்னு சொல்லிட்டு I asked you, you know, like
அப்படியே மிஸ் பண்ணிட்டேன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் நான். இல்ல நீங்க வியாழக்கிழமை ஒரு கிளாஸ் வச்சிருக்கும் எனக்கு I totally forgot about it. நீங்க வியாழக்கிழமை ஒரு
நீங்க வாட்ஸ்அப்ல எப்பவுமே இருங்கோ. Everything I do I'll post it on WhatsApp. And I've added this entire group to the Narayaneeyam community, right, where I post messages. So if Kuchelar Dinam came this week, I posted a message on that. Narayaneeyam Day came last week and I posted a message. So that's where I'll keep posting messages.
Okay. I'll make sure that எல்லா இதுக்கு ப்ரோகிராம் பார்க்கறேன். I'll just try.
Yeah.
இன்னைக்கு அப்டேட் வந்தோம் அரோரால. I'm just இன்னைக்கு
சார் இப்போ சிஜி காயத்ரி டெம்பிள்ல பாராயணம் 1 to 50 ஜனவரி சொன்னீங்க இல்லையா? அது எப்போ வருதுங்க?
நான் போஸ்ட் பண்றேன். அது வந்து கம்ப்ளீட்லி 100% ஃபைனலைஸ் ஆயிட்டல. ப்ரோக்ராம் அண்டர் கன்ஃபர்மேஷன் I'll definitely post it, but most probably it is going to be I think January 25th நினைக்கிறேன், which is a Saturday. It's going to be in the morning. Okay, it will be in the morning on Jan 25th. So I'll send to save the date once I get a little bit more details around it, right?
ராஜேஷ், நான் அப்புறம் உங்களோட தனியா பேசுறேன். பட் எனக்கு என்ன மாதிரி அவுட் ஆஃப் டவுனர்ஸ்க்கு என்ன ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ்
அப்ப சிகாகோ வரணும் நீங்க.
I know whenever I get
இல்லனா உங்க ஊர்ல ஏதாவது ப்ரோகிராம் செட் பண்ணீங்கன்னா எல்லாம் வருவாங்க.
அதுவும் ஆமா, அது பண்ணலாம்.
Even Kritika, you should take this opportunity to drive, you know, once in a while.
இல்ல நான் வரேன். ஆனா ஜனவரி எப்படின்னு தெரியல ராஜேஷ்ஜி. பிகாஸ் நான் கண்டிப்பா கணேஷ் காயத்ரி டெம்பிள் நான் ஆரம்பத்துல இருந்தே இருக்கேன். நான் அங்க இருந்தப்பவே இருந்து அந்த மாமாவையும் தெரியும். நான் நிறைய அங்க போயிருக்கேன். அதுல லைக் இன்னொரு ஃப்ரெண்ட் இருக்கா, அவ சொல்லுவா அதான் எனக்கு எங்க அம்மாவா அப்படின்ட்டு. அது மாதிரி நிறைய வாட்டி போயிருக்கேன் கணேஷ் காயத்ரி டெம்பிள். பட் அன்பார்ச்சுனேட்லி இங்க டிட்ராய்ட்ல இருக்கிறதுனால January, but
I know, I understand, but I think, you know, sometimes you just use this as an opportunity, you know, like this year we did one full Parayanam at Lemont. We did 100 Dasakam Parayanam at Lemont. Q1 we did a Parayanam in Buffalo Grove, you know, and then Q4 we did 2 Parayanams, right? One in St. Louis, one in Naperville. Next year already like 3-4 are already planned, right? So நிறைய வந்துட்டு இருக்கும். So you kind of use each of that as a milestone to
கொஞ்சம் அரையடா சொன்னேன்னா maybe, you know, at least if not
but when the moment it is finalized, I immediately put it. People are going to keep it in their house. So they're saying, okay, I want to do in the month of March, but I don't know when in March, right? So அதனால அந்த dates வந்து கொஞ்சம் last minute வரைக்கும் ஒரு 2-3 weeks முன்னாடி வரைக்கும் it's little bit uncertain, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I need to come up with a schedule. That's what it is.
Sir, when
verses irkilla 4 or 5. Can you please send the lyrics there? Introductory one. The one before Dasakam 1. அப்படி சொல்றீங்களா எல்லா verses. எனக்கு
தியான ஸ்லோகம் கேக்குறீங்களா?
Sorry, Radha, you're asking the Dhyana Slokam? Okay, you want the lyrics?
The lyrics only.
I'll resend it, okay.
I can put it in my book.
Sure. Sorry, Anita, you were saying something?
இல்ல சார், அது நம்ம குரூப்ல இருக்கு. We can repost it அப்படி சொல்ல வந்த ராதாஜிக்கு.
Google Drive with all of the recordings.
Okay.
I intentionally don't send it ahead of time, then people will not attend the class and they'll think I can always access the recording. So I'll send it at the end of the session. But all the recordings, MP3s are there in one place. You can download it. And I've also stitched it together. So if you say today I want to do Dashakams 1 to 25, there's one MP3 which is 1 to 25. So you can just let it play and then you can just keep chanting as well. You don't have to click on each of them individually as well. Right? Same thing for Devi Mahatmya Malini. It's all stitched together also. So it's like once you get it done with, then I'll release those things, right? But it is all there.
Yeah. Very good. Actually, I really need that. So thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Bye everyone. Bye.